Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today we're going to discuss a few questions you asked me, such as what's up with Rolex display models, and what do I think is the best bang for buck integrated bracelet watch on the market today. Now, of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing my Piaget Polo 45, an integrated strap watch, which I love, but is not the answer to the question. And also, guys, don't forget to check out delraywatch.com. We just got in a Rolex, a Root Beer GMT, cheapest one out there. Absolutely killer deal, full box, full papers, 2021. We got in a Patek Philippe 5167 Aquanaut, also best deal in the US, box, papers, minty shape, and a very rare and very cool HYT H0 Black Steel, the watch that tells time with a pump and liquid. Even if it's not the watch for you, I'm telling you to go check it out. Click on delraywatch.com. Check out this oddity of horology. Very, very cool timepiece. And all these can be found at delraywatch.com. As I said, link in the description below. The best place for a watch geek to buy a watch. Anyway, guys, these are some of the questions you ask me on my Instagram account at Federico Talks Watches. A couple times a month, I throw up a Q&A picture. Feel free to ask your questions there. When I have enough questions, I take the picture down. Please don't DM me. I don't really check them. And in no particular order, we start with Thomas de Miranda. I have a question for you. Which brand is winning 2022? This one is very tough, especially because I do these off the fly, so I guess I'm just going to give you the answer. It's off the top of my head. But I'm going to go with Omega. Omega's releases have been awesome. The new Speedmaster movements, the Green Seamaster, the sub-seconds in the Aquaterra, the vintage reissue Seamaster with the silver dial. I mean, there's a lot of great brand releases this year, but off the top of my head, I have to say Omega. Absolutely killing it, coming out with things people want to buy. Great job. John the King James. Hey Fed, keep up the good work. Thank you. What is your opinion on the Tag Heuer reissues? Have you ever visited Turkey? So first of all, yes, I visited Turkey. I love Istanbul. I've also been to Izmir and Kusadasi. Fantastic. But let's get to horology. What do I think of the Heuer reissues? I think they look great. And I think that's pretty much the vast majority of Tag's current sales are the Heuer reissues, the Heuer Carreras, the Heuer Monacos. A lot of them are using Tag's new in-house chronograph movement. Yes, they borrowed the design from Seiko, but it is made in-house by Tag. I think the Heuer reissues are the best looking Tag Heuers out there, and I think it's been a genius re-release by them, even though they're not first to the party. Longines started the reissue train years ago. But yes, I do like them, and I think that is very much helping their sales. Droning with Jacob. Hey Fed, what are your thoughts on watches trending smaller? For example, the new Longines Spirit 37. I know it varies with each person, but in general, at what point does a smaller watch look too small on a guy? You know, watches are trending smaller. I think trends are cyclical. I mean, in the early 2000s, everything was huge. Panerai 44 and 47 millimeters, Hublot Big Bangs, 44 millimeter AP. I mean, things were getting too big. Now we're trending the other way. It is widely considered in the watch industry that 40 millimeter is by far the most in-demand size for a man. And while things are smaller now, and even I can wear smaller than 40 millimeter, the main measurement you want to look at is lug to lug. If a watch has longer lugs, then I could probably wear a 37. If it has way too short lugs, then maybe a 40 would be too small on me. The diameter, which is the measurement you're saying, 37 millimeters, is deceptive. I'd say lug to lug is a much bigger indication. But at what point does a watch look too small? Honestly, that's personal preference. I mean, Tony Soprano could rock a 36 millimeter Datejust, but that was also a show from the late 90s and early 2000s when looks were different. I'd say buy what you like on your wrist, but yes, we're definitely trending smaller at the moment. Watch rolling. Do you ever attend consumer shows like the Wind Up Watch Fair? If no, any particular reasons why? Also, any recommendation for comfortable and fashionable pants or collared shirts for work? Honestly, and let's get the shirts and pants out of the way. I obviously wear a lot of Brooks Brothers. When I was a much bigger guy, and I'm still a bigger guy, they made shirts that fit me very well. But I've quickly realized nothing fits you better than something tailored for you. And now, while a tailored shirt can cost as much as $300 or $400 in the United States, if you ever visit Asia or Europe, you can get a decent shirt from anywhere for 40 to $100 made to measure for you. Same with the pants. Obviously, you can spend a lot more than that, but pretty much everything apart from my polos and jeans is tailored. My jackets, my pants, my shirts. And, you know, I do travel to Europe and Asia a couple times a year, and I just save up and I buy them all when I'm over there. Better than anything off the rack. Do I ever attend consumer shows? Rarely. So when I worked for Richemont, I attended industry shows such as SIHH, and I've attended Baselworld, which is more of a consumer show. But I don't tend to go to consumer shows nowadays, and it's more of a personal thing. So the first thing is, I don't particularly love crowds. I'm a very sociable person, but I have a small group of friends. I like to keep to myself. And while that's the best part, is meeting some of you guys who come up and say hello, I really appreciate it. I do tend to kind of stick to my small group of friends, and I don't know, big crowds kind of dumping over each other. You don't really ever get a great chance to see watches. As I said, very personal opinion. A lot of guys love these fairs and go for it. Share the hobby with your fellow watch lovers. But generally, I'm lucky enough to see a lot of watches in my office eventually anyway. So I don't tend to attend these events. Jack Leonardis, hey Fed, have you heard that the Rolex exhibition only displays are actually just cases and the movements are missing? Do you think this is true? While I'm not 100% true if that is the case for the Rolex display models and authorized dealers, I can tell you that the watch industry does do this. I have seen display models when I worked in the industry at trade shows or when we showed stores new models. The movement wasn't ready in production yet, or we didn't have enough movement, so we'd bring dummy models, which is the case, but hollow, we'd put a weight in it, but it would show the store or the potential buyer what the watch looked like, how it would feel, but we saved money on the production of the movement, or just the movement wasn't ready yet, or we didn't have enough of them. So it's not shocking at all that Rolex wouldn't put functional movements in their display models, because the display models are just for display. If they can't be sold anyway, what's the point in wasting a perfectly good movement? So while I can't 100% confirm that that is the case with the display Rolex models, it does make perfect sense, and it has been done many, many times before. J Mozo 78. Based on the hype, what is the best integrated watch bang per buck in your opinion? There's two. Either the Tissot PRX, which everybody loves and I like as well, but I'm going to go with the Girard Perregaux Laureato. You can go with the Evo models and save a ton of money, but you get more of a 90s design, or the new models. They are in-house movements, fantastically proportioned, a true integrated bracelet, and they cost a fraction of the Vacheron, Patek, and APs out there. And everybody knows I'm a GP fan. I own one. I own two, actually. I absolutely adore it. And while they've certainly climbed with the hype of integrated bracelet models, I still think they offer very good value for what you're getting. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Really does help. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more content. And of course, we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.